Like, subscribe and share Tree Fanfiction audiobook channel for all parts. Chapter 86. It has been a while since the end of the national competition, and no one has continued to train during this period. Today, the basketball department has gathered all members together again to hold the final farewell ceremony for the third grade. There is nothing special about the farewell ceremony, but a group of third grade players came forward to say some farewell words. As the captain, Bai Feng certainly cannot avoid it. Under the admiring eyes of the first and second graders, Bai Feng walked to the front. He looked at these burning eyes and did not speak for a while. Bai Feng didn't know what to say at this time. After all, He, the guy who limited the sheep, had said everything that should be said. After a brief thought, Bai Feng suddenly felt that it would be better to give this group of juniors something practical. Then, Bai Feng's face showed a hint of 163 interest, and he smiled. There is nothing to say, we all met because of basketball. Of course, we have to say goodbye in the way of basketball. Let's play a training game. Let me, the captain, give you something in the end. As soon as Bai Feng said this, everyone was stunned for a moment, and then they all looked forward to it. During this period of rest, many people did not touch the ball, and they were already itching to play. Moreover, they all knew that this was the last time they would play a training match. After today, this group of people will go their separate ways, and it is very likely that they will not be able to gather together again. Soon, the members who were originally in casual clothes changed into jerseys. Then they were divided into two teams, and the third grade led by Bai Feng and the other team composed of the first and second grades began to compete. No need to let our seniors. The first and second grades felt excited at this time, looking at Bai Feng excitedly, and said sincerely. Seeing this, Bai Feng smiled. Of course, after all, I have to teach you some real things. It was different from the imagined scene of the two brothers turning over and enjoying each other. The whole training match was full of brutal scenes. Bai Feng simply taught this group of juniors a lesson inside and out. When it was over, the first and second grades on the field had long lost their excitement at the beginning. They all lay on the ground, and there was a hint of confusion in their eyes. He murmured, "What is this?" That look was like being RD, and he couldn't calm down for a long time. In fact, it's not their fault, mainly because the scene on the court just now was too violent. As long as anyone who watched the whole process, there is no one who doesn't sympathize with them at this time. After all, in this training match, Bai Feng didn't let them get a single point. Completely shut out. XT. Captain is so strong. There is no power to fight back. The training matches used to be just a joke. How could they have seen such a scene? In the past, when Bai Feng played training matches with them, there was no such accident. Coach Ham's mouth twitched constantly, and he couldn't help thinking in his heart. Bai Feng, the basketball team will rely on these players in the future, don't let you ruin it. Bai Feng also smiled now. After all, I haven't played basketball for so many days, to be honest, I still feel a little itchy. And, it happened to be in this training match that I experienced the evolution of King's domain. Although, the intensity of this game was too low, it did not serve as a test. But even so, Bai Feng could feel the power of this skill. After all, the initial hit rate of the two fixed points is above 60%. As long as there is no special situation, it is just a matter of raising your hand. Not long after, Bai Feng saw the players on the ground stand up. Bai Feng ignored their resentful eyes. He just smiled and said to them, "You will definitely meet a strong team in the future. When you are beaten to the point of doubting your life, you might as well think about today's training game. After all, no matter how strong the opponent is, you will not get a point, right? This is also the captain's last gift to you." After hearing Bai Feng's words, the first and second graders did not react for a while, and they all looked confused. Bai Feng has nothing to say. Although his methods are a bit cruel, his starting point is definitely for their good. Instead of saying some empty words, it is better to do some substantive operations. Let these guys' state of mind change a bit, so that they will not surrender directly when they meet a strong team in the future. I just don't know if they can understand Bai Feng's good intentions. After the farewell ceremony, Bai Feng, Shota, and Teikō walked towards the school gate together. Bai Feng suddenly thought of something. Then he turned his head and said, "Shota, will you still play basketball after entering high school?" Shota was immersed in the mood of leaving, and was suddenly startled by Bai Feng's voice. But then he reacted, a little embarrassed, scratched his head and smiled, "Of course I will play." Bai Feng did not forget that when Shota was beaten by Murasakibara, he once had the idea of giving up basketball. He also specifically asked himself if he had no talent. Bai Feng remembered that he did not hesitate to admit the fact that Shota had no talent. However, it seems that Shota has overcome the psychological shadow now. Before Bai Feng could reply, Teikō on the side suddenly shouted, "What? Shota, you don't play basketball anymore." Shota's eyes twitched, "What are you listening to? I just said I would play basketball." "Teikō, I had the idea of not playing basketball, and I didn't even know." Teikō's gossipy expression at this time made Shota a little angry. "Shota, none of your business." 5.4. The two of them entered their familiar mode of getting along again, and the atmosphere became somewhat cheerful. After a while of playing around, it became quiet again. Shota looked at Bai Feng and said, "Hey Feng, have you decided where to go to high school?" After saying this, Teikō also looked at Bai Feng curiously. "Bai Feng, I haven't decided yet." "Shota, you should think about it carefully. After all, there must be many strong schools recruiting you." Teikō also nodded in agreement. It is indeed as Shota said, there are too many colleges and universities that have contacted him during this period. But Bai Feng has not decided where to go. Of course, one thing is certain, Bai Feng will definitely not go to the school where Miracle Era is located. Chapter 87. Chensong High School, Campus. Look, look! That boy is so handsome. Where is he? Damn, he's too handsome. Sisters, who knows who he is? I want to know all his information. I haven't seen him in school before. He can't be a freshman." Bai Feng walked alone in the campus, heading towards the basketball team. At this time, it was already time for school to end in the afternoon. He listened to the discussions about him from time to time around him, and Bai Feng had a blank expression. But, although he couldn't see anything on the surface, Bai Feng was already a little irritated. Although his appearance has always been very impressive, and with the passive temperament enhancement of leadership, he will become the focus wherever he goes. And for so long, Bai Feng has long been immune to the discussions of outsiders. But today, on the first day of school, he was still a little annoyed. Not to mention the discussions of the girls around him, just the love letters he received today are almost filling up the desk. Bai Feng was a little impressed at this time. This Sakura girl who entered high school was indeed more powerful than in junior high school. She had simply completed the ultimate evolution. Bai 01 Feng quickened his pace and walked towards the basketball hall. Not long after, with his long legs rushing quickly, Bai Feng had already reached his destination. Chensong Basketball Club. Bai Feng looked at the gym in front of him, and he suddenly felt a little fresh. After all, after being used to the old basketball hall in Jianguang, looking at this magnificent gym in front of him, it really makes people feel comfortable. Bai Feng did not stay at the door of the gym for long and walked in directly. Bang! Bang! As soon as Bai Feng entered, he was attracted by the sound of the ball in the gym. He found that many players had already appeared in the gym at this time. Bai Feng thought there were not many people just now, but he didn't hear any sound outside. The sound insulation of this gym is also good. The moment Bai Feng entered, his arrival had attracted the attention of the people in the stadium. After all, Bai Feng's presence is still too strong, with a height of more than 2 meters. No matter where he goes, he is the most eye-catching. Look, that's Bai Feng. It's him, I've seen his photos in the media. So tall. As expected of a star player in the junior high school world, he feels extraordinary. At this time, there were only 2 players standing on the other side of the field. They looked at Bai Feng like everyone else. One of the dark-skinned boys said, "Watanabe, the person you have always been curious about is here." The boy called Watanabe looked at Bai Feng and smiled, "Yes, just looking at him, I feel that his style is different from that of the other players." As expected of a player who can wrestle with the miracle era by himself. After that, he turned his head and looked at the dark-skinned boy, "Hayduka, let's go say hello to him." "Hello, you must be Bai Feng." Bai Feng looked at 2 players in front of him, both of whom were almost over 190 centimeters tall. One of them was black and the other was white, which was a sharp contrast. After looking at them for a moment, Bai Feng replied, "It's me." After getting Bai Feng's recognition, one of the boys with white skin smiled and said, "I am the captain of the team, Tomoya Watanabe, and the one next to me is the power forward Hayduka in the team." After hearing the other party's self-introduction, Bai Feng also smiled and responded politely, "Senior, hello." After seeing Bai Feng's politeness, Tomoya Watanabe smiled even brighter, "You're welcome, Bai Feng, just call me Watanabe in the future." The atmosphere in our Chensong team is very relaxed. As he said, he looked at Hayduka next to him and said, "As for this guy, just call him NR, everyone calls him that." After saying that, Tomoya Watanabe couldn't help laughing. "Hey, Watanabe, you guy, at least give me some face in front of the newcomers." "Oh, what's the matter? Everyone in the team calls you that anyway." Bai Feng was speechless. The 2 seniors seemed a little unreliable. They looked like calm and reliable seniors just now, but they started joking and playing in front of him, a newcomer, the next second. Sure enough, they are just high school students even if they are mature. "Bai Feng, seniors, do I need any entry procedures?" After hearing Bai Feng's question, Watanabe looked at him again. "Watanabe, the coaching team has already prepared your entry procedures. Just wait and train together. You can go over there first. They are freshmen like you." After saying that, Watanabe pointed in a direction. Bai Feng nodded and greeted the 2 of them, then went to the first-year position. He originally wanted to take a ball to train in advance. However, Bai Feng saw a familiar figure of more than 2 meters in the direction of the first year. The other party also saw Bai Feng at this time and walked towards Bai Feng with a smile. "Bai Feng, Zhang Heng, you're here so early." "Zhang Heng, haha, not bad." That's right, the man in front of Bai Feng is the one who played in the regional knockout match before. The ace center of Kanagawa International Middle School, Zhang Heng. The Hyuxia brother who slapped 2 foreigners as soon as he came on the court. The reason why the other party is here at this time is also related to Bai Feng. In fact, the 2 have always been in contact. When Bai Feng decided to come to Chensong High School, he thought about getting this big Hyuxia. After all, Bai Feng still recognized Zhang Heng's strength. So he mentioned it to the other party, but he didn't expect that the other party agreed immediately. Zhang Heng looked at Bai Feng at this time and said in shock, "Brother, when I first met you, you were only a little over 190 centimeters. Now you are almost the same as me. I don't believe what they reported about you in the media." "Bai Feng, it's okay, keep a low profile." Zhang Heng. Although the 2 of them have been in contact, they have not met since the game. So Zhang Heng had only heard about Bai Feng's changes. When the 2 chatted, the freshmen beside him looked at Bai Feng with their mouths wide open in surprise. They didn't expect that the famous tyrant would choose Morning Pine High School. At this moment, their emotions were fluctuating fiercely. As players of the same grade as Bai Feng, They knew Bai Feng's rise all the way very well. Usually, the people in 603 could only regard Tyrant, Miracle Era and other players as star players to watch from afar. At this time, he actually appeared in front of them alive and became a teammate. How could everyone not be excited? That. Mr. Bai Feng, do you still remember me? Bai Feng suddenly heard a familiar voice behind him. He looked back and saw that the other person was about 195 centimeters tall and had muscles all over his body. After Bai Feng looked at the other person and responded carefully, he finally determined who the person was. Bai Feng, are you Kobayashi Ichiro from Chongteng? Kobayashi Ichiro, haha, it's me. I didn't expect that we would become teammates. This is too coincidental. When Bai Feng called his name, he laughed out loud. At this moment, Ichiro Kobayashi felt that it must be his past performance that was recognized by Bai Feng. But he didn't know that the reason why Bai Feng remembered him was because this guy once threatened to lock him up. As a result, he was beaten to tears after the game, and the picture of crying was photographed by the media. Finally, his title of tyrant was completely confirmed. Bai Feng. Zhongheng, Bai Feng, you are really popular. Look at the guy over there, he has been staring at you. After saying that, Zhongheng pointed in the direction. Hearing this, Bai Feng looked directly at the direction Zhongheng pointed. I saw a player about 1.8 meters tall looking at me with a scrutinizing face. Bai Feng actually discovered the other party a long time ago, but he just ignored it. At this time, Zhongheng discovered this guy. It is conceivable how long the other party has been observing him.